Out front tonight, Putin's mysterious shakeup. The Russian president suddenly putting in a new general to oversee his war in Ukraine. And there is a huge question tonight, which is why? What is this all about? Because it comes as Russia claims its forces are on the verge of seizing the town of Soledar. CNN is there, has heard the heavy artillery fire. We're going to show you in just a moment. It is artillery fire that has decimated an entire town. Let me just show you some new before and after pictures just into our field team on the ground. Here you can see a neighborhood with homes and apartment buildings. Let's show you now. Look at that. Nothing there. Only the outer shell of buildings remain, even where there's that. And let me show you another one. Homes and a school to the right. A small town. Now, gone. Everything has been destroyed. And the fate of this town that you're looking at right now, Soledar, is at the heart of this mysterious putsch in Putin's military command. Here's what we know happened. The head of the brutal Wagner group, Evgeny Prigozhin, posted a picture on Telegram, along with the claim that his forces, this private paramilitary group, have taken control of the, quote, entire territory of Soledar. Now, you'd think that the Russian military would be happy to hear that, but no. They denied Prigozhin's claims. The top Kremlin spokesperson this morning saying Soledar is not yet in Russian control, that there's only a positive trend. It is an odd, conflicting message in a time of war. It is a mystery. It's a sign of something much deeper. And it appears to be at the center of Putin's general shakeup. Because the man that Putin has now picked to run his invasion, General Valery Gerasimov, is backed by the Russian military establishment, which has failed so miserably in so many parts of this war, backed by Putin's Minister of Defense, Sergei Shoigu. And the man that Gerasimov is replacing, General Sergei Surovikin, has the backing of Evgeny Prigozhin of the Wagner Group. So tonight, in this play, this chess game, it is advantage Shoigu in this duel between him and Prigozhin for the ultimate power in Putin's military power in Putin's regime. So Putin today, to your point about the personalities here, announcing his fourth general in less than a year to oversee the war in Ukraine specifically, which obviously is not a good record. But the man who is now in charge, Gerasimov, actually was the person running the Russian military over the past decade, a military which we have all seen its performance on the battlefield. So what do you think of this, of Gerasimov now suddenly being entrusted with this top command and replacing Surovikin?
It is a bizarre move, Aaron. You know, it would be the equivalent of taking the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, General Milley, in the United States and putting him in the front lines of an operational campaign. He has been at the forefront of, as you just said, the Russian military. That's not just army, that's Navy, Air Force, naval infantry, all those things. So it may be a foretelling of an attempt at future attacks in different areas of operations with Navy and Air Forces. But I believe it's a personality-driven move. It is, in fact, a demotion for Gerasimov, someone who's been in Moscow for the last 10 years. And it's also a demotion of Surovikin, who actually was given the command in the front for the Russians and didn't do all that well. So it's troubling to me, and it's confusing to me why Mr. Putin did this, other than potentially to place blame on Gerasimov, who's considered an insider in the Kremlin.
All right. Thank you very much, General Hertling. And out front now, Christo Grozev, lead Russia investigator for Bellingcat, who identified the Russians involved in poisoning Putin opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Christo was just placed on Russia's wanted list. So, Christo, let me just start there. This is just happening here over these past days. Why do you think Russia and Putin now have just put you on the wanted list?
Well, new year, new priorities, but I don't know. The answer is there's no explanation. Our lawyers, my lawyers, have not been able to get any answer as to why, what the charge is. What it says on the most wanted announcement is he's been put on this list for a violation of a Russian law, and it's completely anonymous. There's no way for me to defend myself from an anonymous charge. The lawyers can find out. The Bulgarian government, I'm a Bulgarian citizen, have been asking Russia to explain why, and they're not giving the answer. I think it's a fatwa of some sort. I mean, it's like a message that to other journalists as well, that don't come and don't meddle into, don't do investigations in Russia.
And yet you continue to bravely do it. You continue your investigations. And you more than anyone know at what possible cost.
Yeah, we investigated, a series of assassinations done by the Russian state. One of them is the attempted assassination on Navalny. But many other opposition figures were targeted by the same security services in Russia, some of them with a fatal outcome.
So Navalny, right now, I will ask you about that. He is. You've got new details surrounding his poisoning. What are they?
Well, I mean, it's more details as to the picture that we, together with CNN, kind of painted 2 years ago almost.
Yes.
We found out a little more details that showed the effort that the Russian government went into to destroy the evidence of what they had just done. There are more people that were sent to clean up after the poisoning. And also what we find out is more evidence that they were trying to do something to the other people around Alexei Navalny. For example, Maria Pevchik, who is the lead investigator.
Of course we know her, yes.
I mean, we see members of the security services going to her hotel a couple of days before the poisoning, and we're still trying to find out why. But there's more granular details as to exactly how they ran the operation. We'll publish an update soon.
All right, so let me ask you about Putin and the news that we have today that we're talking about, this new commander for Ukraine, General Gerasimov, of course, a name that many have become familiar with, but he is a person that the Wagner Group chief, Evgeny Prigozhin, has disparaged publicly, right? A real split there. Prigozhin with huge ambition, and now suddenly the person who hasn't, has sort of been his nemesis on this is getting this big promotion. What does this mean?
Well, it means a couple of things. One thing it means is that by promoting the chief of staff of the army to the position of a field commander, essentially running the show, you can't anymore call this a non-war. You can't call it a special operation. It's a real war, and sort of it's come out finally. Second thing is that Putin has been between two powers. It's been in the middle of a power struggle, and Prigozhin actually showed his teeth. He showed that he wants a piece of the action, wants to be in power. But Putin ultimately had to take the side of the anti-Prigozhin establishment, which is the military establishment, the Shoigu team, the Gerasimov team. And what you see now is both sides are upset with this outcome, and Prigozhin is going to do something, I think, more to claim power.
More dramatic, to try to claim power.
Yes.
So we should be watching that.
Yeah, in the next couple of days, I think there will be more lashing out by him.